天上の地獄とは創世前夜の終着よ。死をもって静まるがいい。エヌマ、エリシ。
Every anime fan has that moment. You're watching a fight, the music swells, someone unsheaths their blade, and then the ability activates, and you just sit there like, how is that even fair? How is anyone supposed to fight that? So today, I wanted to go through some of the most absurdly, hilariously, and offensively broken sword abilities in anime. Let's get into it. I want to start with Murasame because it represents the purest, most distilled version of an overpowered sword. No 10-minute monologue explaining how it manipulates quantum strings or whatever. You get cut, you die. That's it. One scratch, and a cursed poison floods your system. No antidote, no resistance. Nope, I survived because of willpower. You're just done. And I remember watching Akame got killed, thinking this was going to be one of those weapons that sounds scary but never actually works on anyone important. Nope, it works on everyone. Oh, and you have a favorite? Gone. The show respects its own rules to a brutal degree, and that's what makes Murasame terrifying. It turns every single fight into a coin flip. You don't need to be stronger, you just need to land one hit. That's a fundamentally different kind of broken. Most counter abilities in anime have some kind of ceiling. You absorb damage, you throw it back, there's a limit. Revenge counter says no to all of that. Meliodas tanks every attack thrown at him, magical, physical, whatever, stores all of it, and then releases the total accumulated damage in a single sword strike. The more you hurt him, the harder he hits back. I sat with that for a second when I first saw it. It's a punishment for fighting well. Your reward for landing a devastating combo is that Meliodas is now about to hit you with everything you gave him multiplied into one swing. It's the anime equivalent of stop hitting yourself, except it levels mountains. And the scariest part, Meliodas is already one of the strongest characters in the show without this. Revenge counter is just him being petty about it. Revenge counter! Okay, now imagine solo leveling, but instead of shadows, you're summoning knights. And instead of everyone thinking you're the coolest guy in the room, everyone thinks you're a joke. Yeah, that's the setup for Others Summon Dragons, I Summon Legendary Knights on web novel. The sponsors of this video, and it goes so hard. So in this world, summoners pull up dragons, hydras, absolute units of mythical beasts. Our guy Godfrey, he rocks up to his awakening ceremony full of hope and summons one dude in armor. One knight. The whole Academy clowns him. But here's the thing, you see, Godfrey's sitting on this ancient bloodline nobody's seen before, and his knights, they evolve. They're literally a gacha-style summoning gate system in his head that unlocks new knights as he levels up. It's giving Persona meets solo leveling meets the dopamine hit of pulling a 5-star in Genshin. And obviously, the comeback arc, oh, it's just mwah. Dungeon after dungeon, he's clearing stuff nobody else can touch, stacking his knight army, and every single person who laughed is now watching him walk past like, wait, what? I've been binging this on the web novel app, and honestly, if you're into underdog revenge fantasy with actual progression systems that keep you hooked, then this is it. Links in the description. Download it free on the App Store or Google Play and start reading Others Summon Dragons, I Summon Legendary Knights. And use my code VINI to get 20% off. But heads up, it's only valid for 48 hours after you claim it, so don't sleep on it, okay? Trust me, the summon reveal alone will keep you scrolling. This one flies under the radar because Index is dense and complicated, but Curtana Original might be one of the most conceptually terrifying sword abilities I've come across.
この手にカーテナオリジナルがあることを忘れるな!
It doesn't cut in 3 dimensions, it cuts across dimensional planes. The blade severs along an axis that exists outside of normal space, meaning it bypasses every conventional defense. You can't block something that's attacking from a dimension that you can't perceive. I love this entry because it lives at the intersection of magic and theoretical physics, which is kind of Index's whole identity. The wielder essentially has access to the power of an archangel, and the sword becomes a conduit for severing things that shouldn't be severable. I mean, it's not flashy, it's just quietly, intellectually horrifying. The kind of ability that sounds reasonable until you actually sit down and think about the implications.
Jutsu 式頼りの守りに回ったな。
Here's the thing about Gojo Satoru. His whole deal is that he's untouchable. Infinity means attacks slow to a halt before they reach him. He is functionally invincible. I mean, every fan knows this. It's the foundation of his character. So when Doji Fushiguro pulled out this stubby little dagger during the hidden inventory arc and stabbed straight through Gojo's throat, I felt the entire fandom hold its breath. The inverted spear of heaven nullifies any cursed technique on contact. Infinity, gone. The impenetrable barrier that defines the strongest sorcerer alive, meaningless. And when the man wielding it has zero cursed energy, he's purely physical. There's something poetic about that, isn't there? The weapon that counters god-tier sorcery belongs to a guy the sorcerer world threw away. Gojo feared this thing so much he apparently destroyed it or sealed it overseas afterwards. When you force the strongest character in your series to remove your weapon from existence, that's peak broken. I need to talk about Kyoka Suigetsu because it occupies a category of its own. It's not a damaging ability, it's not elemental. Aizen Zanpakuto controls all 5 senses of anyone who's seen its release permanently. That means from the moment you witness its Shikai, everything you see, hear, smell, touch or taste could be a fabrication. Every fight you enter against Aizen, you're fighting a version of reality he has curated for you. I find this more unsettling than any world-ending blast. Aizen walked through the entirety of Soul Society's military because none of them could confirm what was real. Captains, lieutenants, geniuses, all playing inside his illusion. Yamamoto, the strongest Shinigami alive, got fooled. Kyoka Suigetsu turned every confrontation into a hostage negotiation where the hostage was your own perception. Genuinely chilling ability.
好きだらけだ。すべて。みんなお前ほどバカじゃねえってよ。
No illusions, no dimensional cutting, no cursed techniques. He just swings his katana so many times, so fast, that he reduces the target to its component atoms. That's it. Speed and precision are taken to such a logical extreme that it becomes absurd. I remember the first time the show demonstrated atomic slash properly. His opponent barely registered what happened before they were vapor. And what makes Atomic Samurai interesting in the One Punch Man ecosystem is that even this level of swordsmanship has clear limitations. Against certain monsters, atomic level cuts aren't enough. In any other anime, the guy would be the final boss. In One Punch Man, he's upper mid-tier at best. That context is what makes it both impressive and darkly funny. Peak swordsmanship humbled by the show's own power scaling.
Atomic
Gilgamesh doesn't fight people. I want to be clear about that, okay? When Gilgamesh activates Ea, he's fighting the world. Enuma Elish is classified as an anti-world noble phantasm, meaning its target isn't an individual, it's the fabric of reality itself. The drill-like blade spins and tears open the boundary between dimensions, unleashing a torrent of energy that predates human civilization. Lore-wise, Ea is supposed to represent the primordial act of separating heaven and earth. That's the mythology it draws from, and Gilgamesh treats it like a minor inconvenience to use. He complains about having to pull it out. The man holding a weapon that unravels existence is annoyed that his opponent forced him to bother. I think that arrogance is what elevates AR beyond just being powerful. It's the attitude surrounding it. A universe-ending weapon wielded by someone who considers you unworthy of seeing it.
Enuma! Elish!
Let's appreciate how ridiculous Rimuru's power scaling gets. The Draconic sword, later named Elpis, was forged from Hihirokane metal by the blacksmith Kurobe and works through true dragon nucleation. Veldora Tempest's energy is condensed into a core inserted into the blade, letting Rimuru channel a catastrophe-class storm dragon through a weapon he casually swings in combat. It can even hold cores from multiple true dragons simultaneously. He's essentially wielding a natural disaster. What amuses me most is how casual the show plays it. Rimuru spent early episodes worrying about goblin villages, and now he's walking around with a dragon compressed into a sword. The power creep in Slime is majestic, everything escalates. I grew up with Inuyasha, so Tessaiga holds a special place for me. It went through so many upgrades over the years: Wind Scar, Backlash Wave, the Diamond Spears, but Meido Zangetsuha was where it crossed the line from powerful into genuinely unfair. The technique opens a portal directly to the netherworld, not a blast, not a wave of energy, a literal hole in reality that swallows the target whole and deposits them into the afterlife. There's no surviving it. You don't tank a portal to hell now, do you? And the history behind this ability is layered. Sesshomaru was the one who actually perfected it, taking it from an imperfect crescent to a full circle through Tessaiga, exactly as their father planned. Then he broke Tessaiga on Tessaiga to transfer the completed technique to Inuyasha. From there, Inuyasha evolved it into something that was entirely his own, a barrage of cutting blades that shredded targets and dragged the remains into the void. 3 generations of refinement for one ultimate delete button. Kamusari, Divine Departure, was originally Roger's technique, and seeing Shanks use it was one of those moments where the entire community collectively lost their minds. It's a single forward slash imbued with Conqueror's Haki so dense that it warps the air itself. Kid, who defeated a Yonko-level pirate with a bounty in the billions, was folded in one hit. Not a prolonged battle, not a dramatic exchange. One swing, 5 spectacle, no multi-episode charge-up, just a quiet, overwhelming statement that this man was always on a different level.
茶王演殺剣
Everyone remembers the Dragon of the Darkness Flame. It's one of the most iconic attacks in 90s anime, but I've always been more fascinated by what Hiei does when he channels those same hellish flames directly into his katana. It's a close-range commitment. You're not launching the dragon across the arena, you're coating your blade in fire pulled from the deepest pits of the demon world and cutting someone with it. When he uses it against Guro, the armored demon gets scorched into nothing despite his defenses. There's an intimacy to it that the ranged version doesn't have. Hiei has to be right there, in your face, blade drawn, black flames licking the edge. Yu Yu Hakusho never made this into a signature the way the dragon was, which is a shame, isn't it? As a sword technique, it's vicious, it's elegant, and it is classic Hiei. Get close, end it fast, say nothing.
黒桃太郎選手戦闘不能とみなし比叡選手の勝利とします
見た者は根源すら残らず消滅した利滅剣ベヌズドノは
And finally we arrive at the logical endpoint, the sword that breaks the concept of being unbreakable. Venuzdnor destroys anything, and I mean anything. Not just physical matter, it destroys concepts, time, space, fate, logic, immortality, reason itself. If something exists as an idea, Venuzdnor can unmake it. You're immortal, it destroys the concept of your immortality. Your attack is unavoidable, it destroys the concept of inevitability. You exist, optional. I have a strange fondness for this one because it's so shamelessly, gloriously over the top. Arnos Voldigode swings this thing around like he's annoyed it even had to come to this. There's no tension, no stakes, no moment where you think he might lose. And somehow, that's the point, isn't it? Venuzdnor is what happens when a writer decides their protagonist should be able to win every fight before it starts and builds a weapon to match. It's absurd, and I kinda love it.